Welcome at a new episode of the Market Reporters.
Indeed. If you have seen our vlogs before, hopefully you did. Every week we try to share with you. We work with a broker. We are a licensed broker in the southern part of Spain. We speak with clients on a daily basis, and we would like to share what is the feeling and what is hot on our clients.
The clients.
Today, and we talk a lot about it. We talk about a certain sector, and we think this is a sector. Maybe it's not that interesting at the moment from an investment perspective, but in the future, definitely it will be.
Absolutely.
And before we do it, I would like to touch up another subject. We spoke about it multiple other times at Humanized Robots. And last weekend, XPeng released their new humanized robot, and it was far better than the Tesla Optimus so far. And you
Especially better than the Aldol.
And where's that from?
The Aldol is from Russia, and he literally walked 3 meters and then he fell over.
Yeah.
It was a really funny video.
And you have to look it up. And if you see the Optimus walking, it's like if he needs to be quiet. And then you see the XPeng, and it is an amazing how it can move. We had on Monday and Tuesday a lot of clients that reach out to us. Wow, this is an amazing new humanoid robot. Can I invest in it? Yes, you can, because it has it's on the Asian market. I think it's on Hong Kong and on the US market. XPeng. So please look at the videos and decide for yourself if it's interesting or not. It's not a company that only make humanoid robots. They also make a lot of other IT stuff, phones and etc. So it's not a new company. I think a market cap of 20 billion or something.
Exactly.
But we are going to talk about something different today, Martin.
We're going to talk about quantum computers. And I think it is important first, and you put a lot of effort into this, what is a quantum computer, why it is so relevant, and why you as an investor should consider taking a position or not in this promising new development. So go ahead. What is a quantum computer? What is a qubit? And what is so interesting?
Yeah. I had an example that I took out. I have a lot of papers in front of me, so I have
but
to
this
look
time
down.
we couldn't really avoid it.
No, and because we don't want to make mistakes. But I took it back in, and it's in front of me. And this is, I think it's an interesting example, and you have to think about it. And this is a volume. It says X times I is 53,293. What is X and what is I? And those numbers can be swapped. And those numbers, you can also say what you said before, 1 times 53,903, but it's the number that can be divided by itself and by 1. It's a prime figure, I think it's called in English.
Yeah.
And apparently, I didn't know that, apparently a normal computer or one of the most advanced computers from this year, 2025, they can't calculate that. It's strange, because it looks so simple.
Yeah.
And a supercomputer with quantum, a quantum computer can do that in a split second. And the answer is, by the way, 137 times 389. So it says something that it's so powerful. What is quantum computing? If you look at your normal computer, everything exists out of zeros and ones. So it's a 0, it's a 1. Everything is a 0 or a 1. Yeah. And it can only have one position.
Yeah, but I think that you know that now, but I think nobody knows it. Very little people know that it is like that. Like, if you say that, I think you have to take that for granted.
Are you sure?
Everything is a 1 and a 0.
Everything is a 1.
I knew it.
You know
I knew it.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for people. I think a lot of people don't know it.
A 1 or a 0. 1 or 0. The difference between the quantum computing is that it can hold at the same time. So it's a process, a 1 and a 0. So with a normal computer, everything is calculated in bits, kilobits, megabits. But with quantum computing, it's differently. The word is coming from Latin quantum, and it's calculated in qubits. For example, because of the fact that it can have different status, you have much more possibilities. For example, if you have 32 bits, then you can have 4.3 billion different possibilities with a quantum computer. For example, a quantum computer is around 2 billion times stronger than the normal computers that we have. 2 billion times stronger. So that is
the speed you're about solving issues or bringing up solutions, and specifically think about I think also AI. It's gonna be tremendous.
Yeah, the difficulty is to create that computer. It has to be in a certain status. And for example, if you look at the degrees, it needs to be in an environment that is around minus 273 Celsius. Then you need a lot of space for that. So a quantum computer can have the size of a room or even of a football field, football pitch. So you can imagine that it's really expensive. And to get it, for the moment, it's not really used in commercial solutions. The first quantum computer saw the light in 1998, so also not that long ago in California. And until now, it's still not has a really academical and also not a commercial value. But it will be for sure. The expectations are now from the scientists that in 2030, for example, the quantum computers can decrypt encrypted data.
Yeah.
What you also see now, and it is really strange, that you have criminals, I can call it criminals, they steal data, they know it's encrypted, they can't decrypt it now, but they think and they hope in 5 years they can do it.
Yeah.
On the longer run, they think that 2050 and onwards, I think it will be faster, the quantum computer is that strong and that advanced that it can break all the codes, all the passwords. It can break in a split second. So you can also see that that's the disadvantage, I think. An advantage is that it will be used in the medical world and also in the commercial world, of course.
Yeah.
So this is in a nutshell how the quantum computer works. So it's, I think, bottom line, 2 billion times faster than a normal computer. It's all about speed and the power. So now, because we talk about investing, Martin, explain how can people jump on this train that it left the train station?
It left the train station and still going very slowly. So there's a couple of companies that you could consider if you like to buy individual shares. The first one I want to touch on with you is IONQ. IONQ is a company listed on the New York Stock Exchange. They have a revenue of about 108 million. They're losing money, about $5 per share. You're paying for it at the moment $50.73. It has a target price in the market of 76. So the one is really positive about it towards the future. If you look at the expectations, the future earnings per share, even still in 2029, they're talking about a loss of about 50 cents per share, which is of course a lot less, but it is expected that 2030 and onwards, they will be profitable. What is interesting about this specific company, they're focusing on mainly drug discovery and biomedical research. So, and I think that is something really important. If we don't have to get ill, or there are solutions to avoid certain diseases, nowadays it's a lot of manual calculation, manual testing. With this power of quantum computing, you can go so far in depth with so little effort. Solutions will come up, physical solutions will come up much quicker, I think. The second company is Rigetti Computing. Rigetti Computing is a bit smaller. They are only 7.6 million in revenue, so that's nearly nothing. The total assets in the company is about 600 million, so it's a pretty small company. If you look at IONQ, you talk about 2.5 billion, so it's quite a lot bigger. The price of Rigetti at the moment in the market is $28, and the target price of the analyst is 40, so it has a slightly higher potential. And what are they doing? Actually, not. It sounds maybe a bit strange. They're not really delivering anything yet that you or I or companies could buy. They are focusing on mainly demonstrations and providing governmental laboratories with tools to explore the functionalities of quantum computing. So they are working on making products, but not really delivering anything. Okay, this is XYZ that we sell to the government or to a company. So that is maybe, of course, a little bit more difficult than to decide whether you would buy it, because it doesn't generate anything. If you look at the third company, is a company that we all know from the past, IBM. They are actually really far with the whole quantum space. They deliver at the moment a 120 qubit machine in 2025, and if you compare that with Rigetti, they are able to deliver a 100 qubit machine, and IONQ is slightly below 100 qubits. So yeah, each of those companies use a different qubit technology, and IBM and Rigetti are, for instance, superconducting, and IONQ is trapped on eons. So it's a different way of processing the data in that sense.
Yeah, and if you look at IBM, sorry to interrupt you, that is of course an existing company, and coming from the hardware environment, this is also hardware.
It's all hardware.
And they are trading at around $310, and the profit per share is 11. So you buy this company for a company that makes a profit.
Pretty good earnings.
Yeah, and like around 30, and also they have also some dividends, and that's also interesting. I put some of the dividends.
And I think it's a funny fact.
2% dividends.
The fact of a company that has been able to make a shift from being very traditional to being in this new space.
What's an IBM? You have less risk because it's an existing company. They do it on the side. They have their cash flow. They can.
They're also active in the cloud. They have different.
They make profit.
Exactly. Different areas. Yeah. So.
But if you don't know, you don't want to.
Yeah, exactly what I'm going to say. If you have doubts whether to buy Rigetti, IONQ, or IBM, you could also just opt for an ETF. And I think the ETF to choose for after looking at what the costs are, the physical replication, etc., is the VanEck Quantum Computing. It's an ETF that came out in the summer, just before summer. Performance initially was quite flat. Then it had a big boost, made almost 30% from June until end of September, and now it's correcting a little bit. So. Yeah, keep an eye on that one. If you want to, you put your toes in the water, you can start by buying an ETF slowly, but take in consideration that it will be bumpy. You won't be seeing benefits directly. You might have to buy a little bit more and average in time, but it is something that I think you cannot ignore. It's a technology with all the robot stuff and AI stuff that's coming towards us. We need computer power to process this all, and this is the solution for that.
And the fact is that they are only on the market with the ETF of VanEck only this year. That shows that it's the beginning of something that can hopefully will explode or not. But it is relatively the beginning. And if you said in relation to AI, I have an interesting comparison. AI learns from data. Quantum redefines computation itself. AI plus quantum is supercharged intelligence. And I also looked at the Chinese market. There are some important players, but most of the players are not public. I saw one small player, but I don't want to mention because it's small. But of course, don't forget the Asian market in this perspective, of course. But for now, conclusion.
Have a look at it. Consider it.
It can be really interesting.
It
needs some years. But
specifically with the AI boom and where all the nowadays leaders are talking about this superintelligence. This is one of the factors that you need to get to that superintelligence.
Pay attention to it.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see each other next week.
Give us your thumb.